Welcome back to Trending on Shaw. The table is stacked with some great commentary from both co-host Kate Hutchinson, but also from Jen, who brings us, Chef Jen, who brings us Uncommon Common Foods.
Right.
So Kate has mentioned that she burnt something at her friend's place
Yes.
for Thanksgiving.
There was a small fire in the oven.
It
I
was
had nothing to do with it except putting it out.
Innocent bystander.
you know what? And thank goodness you were there to put it out. Or
And
else we
nobody
were,
even took a picture.
oh no!
Right?
You missed
Yeah.
it.
There's Kate just tweeting away too. She's taking pictures. I got to tweet this. This is fantastic. How long have you been a chef?
Oh, geez. I've always, in my heart, always been a chef. Since I was itty bitty, I remember playing around in the kitchen. But I went to SAIT, to professional cooking in 2008.
When you go over to someone's place, like you did over the long
Right.
weekend, let's be honest, just you and I, just the three of us, do you judge how people cook?
I don't, but I certainly feel a little more pressure on my end because I think that you know, somebody should think that I should bring something pretty wowy,
Yeah.
right?
Instead of like mac and cheese.
And honestly, most chefs are actually just happy that you invite them and that you feed them.
Because they don't have to cook for once.
Right. So you know, we're excited to be able to visit anybody, anytime. And no,
Oh,
I don't
they're
think
so
we're
lonely.
just invite us over.
If you
We
would
just
like
wanna
to invite
eat.
Chef Jen over to your place, at Chef Jen Calgary on her Twitter account.
Let me know.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Some very colorful items you brought in this time around.
Today I have
Please share.
a couple of things for you. So persimmons in season right now, super lovely, very beautiful. Kate and I were just discussing they have another name
Yeah, so we discovered these are called Sharon fruit as well.
Okay.
So there's two types of persimmons you'll find. There's one that's sort of shaped like a tomato. I've got two of them there. And there's the other one that's sort of shaped like an apricot, or sorry, an acorn. Now both of them are very different in flavor. In that one has a little bit more tannins than the other. So you know red wine.
Sorry, more what?
Tannins.
Oh, tannins,
It's
okay.
kind of that bitter, dry sort of mouthfeel that you get from something. It's not amazing. Yeah, so you kind of want to veer away from it or allow it to ripen to develop those sugars. But I've got a couple here for you. You guys can
These are the
absolutely try them.
persimmons.
This
Persimmons.
is the persimmons or persimmons or
Okay.
tomato, potato, however you should decide.
Mine's connected.
It's a trick. It's a
Okay.
trick I did before we started the show.
And this is a fruit.
This is a fruit, a very interesting fruit, mostly from Asia, but absolutely available and grown in California. Slightly creamy, a little bit sweet.
It's like a jackfruit.
Yeah, you can roast this, you could cook it. It goes amazing
Like a
with
peach almost.
poultry, pork dishes,
Or a cantaloupe.
Yeah.
or cantaloupe.
Just a little
right.
cantaloupe in there too.
A mix of a peach and cantaloupe.
Good variation.
No.
So go ahead.
So no. It's not as sweet as I thought it would be.
It's not as sweet. Now you'll see when you buy them, you want to make sure that they've got this top on it and that it's actually adhered to it quite well. And then you would cut around this. So when you're looking what persimmon you're going to have, they're
This way?
often
Let's turn it this way.
So you can catch that.
Why is it important to have the top on?
It's important because that's kind of it's its whole or it's the top of it. So when you pull it off, it actually exposes the flesh inside. So this kind of keeps it intact. You want to find firm persimmons. You can find them yellow, green, and then they get this beautiful orangey color. Now the beauty of these is even when they're unripe, you can eat them. So you can cook them, and when they're really ripe, they'll actually kind of keep this really tough outer peel, and they'll actually kind of get a sweet, mushy sort of pudding inside.
Ew. Do we want
Sounds no. I think it'd be lovely.
that? All right. And this other little intriguing item you have here in front of us, you've cut one open, right?
I did. Celeriac or celery root, so definitely part of the celery family.
We can eat this one too?
You can eat this one. I've diced up or sliced up some little pieces for you. So it's got a nice
not
white
nearly as
flesh.
tasty.
It's a different sort of tasty. It's kind of a cross between celery and parsley. Good little crunch
It's
to
like
it.
a parsnip.
Yeah, it's kind of like a parsnip. Well, it's a root vegetable, and this
weird.
is root vegetable season.
You're not
It
liking
doesn't.
that?
It doesn't taste like it looks. It does not taste like it
Yeah,
looks.
well, once you cook it, it's great for roasting. It's amazing in deep, creamy soups. It's great fall vegetable. Incredibly delicious. I like it.
How do we know when it's ripe?
How do you know when it's ripe? Well, a good thing about root vegetables is they don't need to ripen.
The roots.
They're roots. They're ready to go.
Are we supposed to eat roots?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
I guess.
They're delicious. Carrots, parsnips,
Oh, there you go.
turnips,
Onions.
onions, garlic. Well, garlic's not a root, but has roots.
Yeah.
So this is something that it's the same family as celery. It does have little celery shoots that grow off of it. It would actually grow this way, little tiny celery shoots, and they're quite bitter. So you wouldn't use it for that, but this is known and used mostly for its root.
Interesting.
Yeah, so when you see this, and this is at almost every grocery store, don't be intimidated. If you're curious by it, take it home, buy it, cut it open, see what it's all about. Yeah.
That's one thing I'm
Play
not.
with it.
You know what? And I'll be honest with what Jen just said a few moments ago. I was intimidated when I walked by some of these items.
Yeah.
That's why it's so great having you in here because now.
Absolutely.
I mean, I send her regular texts. Jen, hey, I'm at
What
the
is
store and
this?
I'm looking at this thing. What do I do with it? Should I buy it? And she gives me great opinions.
And she
do.
said you
Great
might have
advice.
an interesting experience with it as well.
You may. You sometimes,
So-
when you bring home these exciting things, it's valuable
Just
to
don't burn it,
learn a
Kate.
little bit more about them before you consume them, how to handle them, how to store them, how to eat them safely. Because quite often, you know, it can be a little rough on your tummy if you're not used to eating so much of, say, jackfruit.
Yes, ma'am.
Or maybe you have too many persimmons the night
That's it.
before.
If you would like to ask a question of Chef Jen, by all means do so. Go to her Twitter account. It's at Chef Jen Calgary, correct?
That's the one.
Always so great having you in here. Thank you very
Thanks so much for having me.
Expect one of my
Text coming soon.
shortly.
Yes.
More fun stuff. Still to come, on a quest for happiness. First, here's what's happening in and around our city. This is Trending on Shaw.